The Albanian street gang of drug dealers is famously known for its violence as well as more widely for a social media output featuring Rolls-Royce with wads of £50 notes. Their never-ending gold Rolex watches help increase its reputation and recruit youngsters. The Gascoigne estate, which was built in the 1960s and overtaking land which slopes south of Barking Town Centre to the Thames, is its historical home turf. One person might climb up to the 12th floor of the Gascoigne estate's high-rise blocks to better understand the Albanians' amazing rise in the UK. From there, the notorious skyline of London, where much of their narcotics will be snorted, stretches west. In the opposite direction, a few miles along the Thames, lie the massive lines of container ports where their narco-trafficking is offloaded in multi-kilo shipments. But it is across the Atlantic to the jungles of Latin America where the story of the Mafia Shqiptare starts. How Albanians came to take over the UK's narcotics market is a lesson in criminal savvy and the value of making friends with some of the world's most dangerous mafias and the overall threat of violence. It all started with a business model which was simple in concept, however sufficiently bold to subvert the existing order. For many years, Narcotics International importers worked individually from its wholesalers and the gangs. The pricing structure varied depending on the drug's purity, and the higher it was, the more it cost. The Albanian gangs later ditched the entire model. They started negotiating directly with the Colombian cartels that controlled coca production. Huge shipments were arranged directly from South America. Supply chains were kept in the house. The intelligence obtained by British experts reported the Albanians were procuring narcotics from the cartels of around £4,000 to £5,500 a kilo, when rivals thought they were getting a neat deal using Dutch wholesalers selling at around £22,500 a kilo. The Albanian gangsters then lowered the price of narcotics and increased its purity. More major consignments were brought into the UK. Moreover, the Albanian effect has extremely shaped the use, production and economy of narcotics. The drug is at its lowest price in the United Kingdom since 1990 and richer than it has been for the last few decades, which has caused record fatalities. Also, it's worth noting that the United Kingdom has the highest number of youngsters in Europe. And more broadly, the far bigger and more frequent drug shipments have been seized entering the UK as narcotics production in South America has hit record levels, up to 31% in 2016. Rivals to the Albanian gangs like Hellbanians originally struggled to rival as they had an inferior, more expensive product. Their only option has been to buy narcotics which were sourced from the Mafia Shqiptare. Now nicknamed the Golden Lion, the Albanian gangster makes an estimated £1 million a week sending migrants to Britain on flimsy dinghies. The Albanian gangster told the reporters who met him as clients that he could take them in for $4,500 each and promised that the British authorities would provide them with food, blankets and almost everything else they needed before putting them up in a hotel. He said, "After that, you can go wherever you want." French police captured the Albanian a few hours after meeting with the undercover journalists, only to be released the following day. The news reported he is just one of a string of organized trafficking gangs we found in northern France, one of which has around 600 people on a waiting list for spots on small boats. About more than 32,000 migrants have crossed the English Channel in these boats so far this year, and more than they crossed in all in the year 2021. Albanians made up about 60% of summer arrivals. Now showing how easily people smugglers can outsmart the authorities, and the gangster was picked out by French police just hours after reporters met him, and only to be released the following morning to resume his operations immediately. Moreover, showing how easily people smugglers can outwit the authorities, the Albanian gangster was picked up by French police a few hours after the police met him, just to be released the following morning to resume his operations immediately. This gangster is just one of a string of highly organized trafficking gangs we found in northern France, one of which has around 600 people on a waiting list for places on small boats. Probably the most shocking investigation also found that gang warfare with frequent gunfights is rife between competitor traffickers who act like mafia bosses battling to control illegal camps and launching areas on beaches. He is just one of a string of highly organized trafficking gangs in northern France, and one of which has 600 people on a waiting list for places on small boats. The shocking investigation also found that gang warfare with frequent gunfights is rife between competitors, traffickers who act like mafia bosses battling to control illegal camps and launching areas on beaches. More than 32,000 migrants have crossed the English Channel in small boats so far this year, which is more than made it through the whole of 2021. Albanians accounted for about 60% of arrivals over the summer. These small boat trips are highly dangerous and sometimes deadly, with 27 migrants, which included children, drowning when a boat went down off Calais in November 2021. This month, more tragedies were narrowly avoided when dozens of migrants were plucked from the sea off Kent after a boat sank. Only last week, a dinghy capsized off Calais with 57 predominantly Albanian migrants on board, which included 17 children, 2 of which were babies. Many needed emergency treatment for hypothermia after being rescued by a French patrol vessel. Moreover, the Albanian effect has profoundly shaped the use, manufacturing and economy of cocaine. Also, the drug has been at its cheapest in the United Kingdom since 1990 and richer than it has been for more than a decade, which has since caused record fatalities. The UK has the biggest number of young people in Europe. More broadly, more extensive and frequent drug shipments have been seized entering the country as narcotics production in South America has hit new record levels, around 31% in 2016. The competitors to the Albanian gangs, like Hellbanians, originally struggled to compete because they had a second-class, more expensive product. Their only option has been to buy substances sourced from the Mafia Shqiptare. There is also considerable evidence that not only are the Albanian gangs working with the Ndrangheta, but they have formed the tightest of alliances. Sources say the Italian mafia considers the Albanians as equals. Rotterdam in the Netherlands is known as Europe's largest seaport, with 8 million containers passing through each year. Many arrive through the direct Columbian Express passage before crossing to Harwich in Essex or Hull. Also, the second busiest European port is Antwerp in Belgium, that connects to the Thames port of Tilbury, just 15 miles from Albanians' territory. Still, even the most senior Albanians are caught sometimes. Klodjan Kopja, 30, who ran a $60 million substance import syndicate, was jailed in 2017 after his couriers were stopped meeting drug-laden lorries arriving in Kent. One striking facet of the NCA term, which the Albanians increased prominence, is their having and so far avoided becoming embroiled in tit-for-tat feuds with competitors. The latest UK criminal threat assessment stated that the Albanians are not really skilled at developing relationships as well as forging links with other OCGs or the organised criminal gangs. This kind of relationship building left Liverpool as the only part of the UK which routinely does not sell Albanian-sourced narcotics. Not only has the Merseyside port its direct access to South America, but the city's own criminal gangs jealously guard its turf. There is another repercussion of the Albanian model that has, say some, helped fuel knife crime as well as substance disputes by making cocaine affordable to smaller and much younger street gangs. A recent report by the London Borough of Waltham Forest stated that the gangs were moving from postcode competitors to commercial enterprises focused on dealing cocaine. And so long as Mafia Shqiptare keeps delivering their narcotics, recruiting youngsters to the infamous Albanians' gangster life has never been easier. What are your thoughts on this? Let us know in the comment section down below. If you enjoyed today's video and found it interesting, then make sure to leave us a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe to our channel and click on the bell icon to be always updated with the most exciting content as soon as it's uploaded. Thanks for watching. See you again soon in another video.